RNG just absolutely pummeled their way to a Game 1 victory against JD Gaming, but the question remains, can JD bring it back in game number 2, or are we going to see one of the quickest 2-0 series so far in the LPL? Clement, that last game was just nuts.
Woo. There's no way JD Gaming takes this sitting down. No respectable team is going to let someone walk away with a 10,000 gold advantage at 15 minutes. And this time, I think they have a much better draft. They swapped over to the red side. They have a strong bottom lane counter. They have a good top lane counter. And Zoe also counters a little bit of Galio as well. Galio can't really trade back on her whatsoever. So I like a lot of these champions that are being selected right here. And, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's not a... I thought that was a mid lane Galio, but that's actually a mid lane Aurelia. So it's going to be the Xiaohu versus Yagao battle here between these two teams. You know, Yagao, a great Zoe player. You always see it banned away from him. And we've seen some good Zoe performances. You can go for the Wits Ends and Tiamat to wave clear and really match the impact for Zoe early on. But it is about, can you shut Yagao down on his best champion?
We're going to find out as we get here into game number 2 of RNG versus JDG. Never gets tiring.
I love it that when they do the free for all chance. That's
yeah,
always the funnest part.
It's always LGD. That's been our formula so far, and then sometimes it's TSM if it's here in the Shanghai arena, because of that one guy.
Interesting move by JD Gaming. It looks like they're going to go for an early invade onto the Zac. Now, a lot of Zacs do like to start on the blue and Krug simultaneously, so it's a good idea to scout out the top side. We've seen a lot of SOFM's clear path be wolves into the blue and to the Gromp at the same time, so smart idea to get that off. They do force Karsa to start somewhere else.
Looks like they're also going to go, oh no. Oh no.
Karsa can't get, all right,
Karsa
there we go.
Takes it, but he does have to expend Smite. Luckily, Zac, as far as junglers go, has a decent amount of sustain, so I don't think he'll be set too far behind from not having Smite in that terms, unless Flawless just keeps going at him. He's got the markdown, and he refuses to let Karsa have a jungle. This is a very different game than game number 1.
Oh, this is Flawless at his best. This is the killer hunter that we're talking about, and could Flawless make someone else buffless?
I don't think he's going to go all the way for that. I think that's a little bit too aggressive. Oh my god, Ming already so low. Not going to be able to get the rend, but the Ignite ticks down, forces Ming down to such low health. Looks like he's staying. I don't know about this one, Clement.
Yeah, it's very close. One single spear and a rend coming in from him could finish the deal. It's going to force Karsa to come here and really defend this wave as well. JD Gaming, they should get the level 3 off of this, and they could be looking at a just hook into straight up kill.
Looking for the shove now under the tower. Will give them better angles on the hook, like you said, so that's what they're going to be looking for here. And Flawless, oh my god.
He hasn't touched any of his own buffs.
You can't do this, man. This is so rude.
It's not even any of his own buffs. None of his own camps were taken.
Karsa literally doesn't have a single camp left on the map. He's walking all the way around. He just gave up his red buff and said, okay, I guess I'll just have to take the Gromp now.
This is the most insane start that we've seen from Flawless in a long time. And with this, he forces Karsa to move away from the bottom side of the map. The level 3 that we're talking about is here. But good move by RNG. They preemptively use the time when the minion wave is outside of underneath the turret to chase away Flawless. But the situation still remains. They're really going to have to use teleports if they want to get out of this bind.
I mean, Karsa's no fool. He knew this was happening, so I'm sure he called it out to his bottom lane. But you have to look at the state of the game as well, because Flawless just took the Scuttle Crab as well, and Karsa has been denied so much. Granted, he's not down a full level yet, and being allowed to take these Krugs will be good for his experience. Flawless will finally pick up his blue buff. So Karsa might go for a little bit of vertical jungling here, but he has to be quick about taking the red. Meanwhile, AmazingJ nearly getting soloed out by Zoom.
I really want to see if Flawless can keep Karsa buffless. Like, buffless was the name that Peanut gave Flawless when he took away all of his buffs, when Flawless was still playing back in the LCK. And today, we might finally see Flawless do that to someone else. He's already had both buffs from Karsa's jungle. He's going to defend his own red as well. And just look at the experience lead.
Yeah, just absolutely massive. You can look at the CS too, not an accurate reflection, but decently so. Zoom putting down a ton of damage here onto AmazingJ. He's having a great early landing phase.
That was a really good Dark Procession. I don't know if you noticed it, but his Dark Procession actually made AmazingJ walk backward for just an inch and allow another Q onto him. Just really good positioning with that skill.
Well, we've seen Zoom be absolutely incredible on this Yorick before, but usually it feels like he needs a little bit more support, but he's already having a good time into this Vladimir matchup. And once Zoom gets going on the Yorick, no tower is safe. It looks like no bot lane is safe either.
I love these RNG games where all three lanes are behind. Ming is pretty much dead here. Uzi knows it. He's leaving that as a sacrificial lamb.
Oh
Wait
my God.
a minute. Are you kidding me?
They take down LvMao, and Karsa goes in. They'll take one more. Both of the bot laners here for JDG have been taken down, and Xiaohu looking in, not going to be able to land the stun just yet. Flawless Duet, second portion will still miss, but the Predator, whoa! Uzi flashes in. Conqueror wasn't even needed from Xiaohu, and now he will return back to his middle lane victorious. 2-0-1 for Uzi, despite being poor-man Joe.
How does this keep on happening? This exact same play actually happened a couple weeks back. Uzi and Ming, the synergy between them is really amazing. I thought Uzi was leaving Ming for dead. I thought it was all over at that point, but LvMao actually does not land any of the hard crowd control early on his Thresh. A preemptive taunt from Ming does allow them to get a lot of time underneath the tower. They take down the bottom lane coming in from JD Gaming, and then Xiaohu coming in, goes for the finish.
Oh no, we're fighting again, Clement. Uzi looking for the kill there onto Imp. Imp gets the Ren for the slow. Karsa coming in. Might not have the range for the elastic slingshot, but it's not going to matter. It forces out the flash from Imp. Now RNG in a great position here in the bottom lane. They have a massive wave, and now they're going to be looking for the turret plating as well.
That was a cheeky play from RNG's bot lane. They did not base. They stayed in place and then punished Imp for a second round. But unfortunately for them, unable to get the kill, so Imp will be able to pick up the CS.
They didn't base, they stayed in place and got beat up right in their face. And now JDG's bot lane ahead in CS, but they are having quite the time trying to stay alive here in the bottom lane. Flawless has not been counter jungling as aggressively as he was in the earlier games, but he is still dipping into that side of the jungle. Karsa only 25 CS there in the jungle.
I can see that you are a rap aficionado, but wait a second.
Xiaohu going in. He didn't know Flawless was here, but a beautiful dive back out will keep him safe. Sleepy Turbo Bubble lands onto the minions, so Yagao not going to be able to find the kill, and Xiaohu dings level 7. Very big threat here onto this Aurelia.
Just want to say I love these games when all three lanes are behind for RNG. This is exactly the same start that happened to RNG versus BLG. Game 3, all three lanes were behind, and it took some Herculean carrying from Karsa to get them back into the game.
Oh no, speaking, here comes Hercules. Here's one of his trials. He will fail this one, but he's still got 11 more to go.
Now those are pretty smart anticipation there, waiting for the ward to go down, gets the stretching strikes, but Flawless is in to punish.
Karsa,
flash.
He's got a flash. He's having a rough game, Clement.
You could definitely say so. Really good start for JD Gaming. I'm super impressed with reading out the level 1.
You said they weren't going to let that gold lead stand, and I thought maybe we'd see like a little bit more fighting before they lost to a 7K gold lead. But that's not what we're seeing here. JDG are absolutely on the front foot. They are forcing down. Yes, RNG have a little bit of a gold lead still, but JDG pick up the Infernal Drake, which is going to do a lot for them. And they're still doing great in the bottom lane, still doing great in all three lanes, in fact. And the major difference between these two teams is just the farm between Flawless and Karsa.
Yeah, I think the bot lane kills really have helped Uzi. He was down by 20 extra CS. He used a flash just to secure the kill onto Flawless. Honestly, Xiaohu could have picked that kill up, but Uzio said, you know what, I just can't stay in this lane like this. It's a very bad lane for Karsa versus Kalista and the Thresh. So I think he was correct in playing a little bit greedier, getting the kill secure.
Oh no, that was the wrong time to roam LvMao, because now your 80 carry's dead, man. Uzi gonna pick up that one. Ming actually getting the kill, but they will also get a turret plating on top of it. And I want to point out, Lemon, got a little bit of question for you. The Courteous Shard second on Uzi. Is that just like a gold timing thing? I have to assume it is.
Yeah. Typically we see Uzi's build is the IE first build. So you do get it anyway later on in your build, but I believe he's just taking it for the extra burst damage in lane, and the gold just lined up for that.
Seems to have worked out, as he was able to get the kill in the bottom lane. The additional burst going to help him out. Flawless is so relentless into this jungle of Karsa. Karsa's just going to have to start vertical jungling if he wants a chance, but instead he's going to be looking for the gank mid onto Yagao. Flawless is here to try and answer the flash away from Yagao. Will keep him safe. And Flawless, I don't think will be able to find an angle for the engage.
Even though the elastic slingshot didn't land, Yagao was very much afraid of the Vanguard's edge that would be coming out after from Xiaohu, so does decide to preemptively flash away from that play.
And JDG are getting real creative with these roams.
So, okay.
Okay, this is the second time we've seen this today. That's the Stormrazor.
Yep.
So, I don't know. After we saw iBoy do this, I'm not really feeling it, because it did not seem to work well for him. Granted, there's no cull this time, but I don't feel like that makes all that much of a difference.
Yeah, we double-checked this is still patch 9.4, so Stormrazors is not buffed. You do not get the extra auto attacks from that, and because I'm pretty sure he actually sold the Courteous Shard just to get the Stormrazors.
Interesting pickup regardless, because like I said earlier in the EDG series, iBoy did not do too hot with this build. He took a while to scale up, and his damage was just insufficient for most of the game, which caused a lot of problems for EDG. That was the reason, or one of them, that they lost. So I have faith in Uzi. He's definitely one of the best 80 carries in the world. You could argue for #1 quite easily. So I want to put my faith into him. I want to put my faith into the fact that he knows this is 9.4, but it's still a little confusing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Courteous Shard is a part of the Stormrazors now. We've been hanging on 9.2 and 9.4 for a long time. Pardon me on that front. So it is just a straight normal item build coming in from him. He is going to be able to use the energized effects for fleet footwork as well. That's part of the reasons that we see it being run.
There's a flash away from him from the engage, and Fate's call to save his support. So the dive will just get pressure onto the tower and force the cell division out of Karsa.
Really smart idea to use the flashes on the Kalista just to avoid the gank. But still, they can't stop the Uzi snowball. 2 for 2 now.
AmazingJ in a lot of trouble being 1v1 here by Flawless. He will not be able to get it, but Zoom is starting to get ahead on the top line. We were talking about this last game. Their win condition was Zoom, and he was set too far behind. But this time, Zoom is ahead 20 CS. He's up a tower now. It's looking scary on this Yorick.
Yeah, and the question really is, what happens when the top lane and the bot side collides for both teams? Uzi is super fed this game. He's going to be moving towards both of those. Empowerments on the second skin. And they have a very good chase down team this time as well. The Vladimir can come in, does have the phase rush. They can slow people with the Vanguard's edge. So I really expect RNG to be super explosive in the mid game. And for JDG to rely more on spreading around the map. Use that top side to split RNG members apart. And not try to get caught bunched up.
Now RNG have sent Uzi top, swapped him into that lane, and turret plating going to fall in just 10 seconds. The next dragon is available. It's Cloud Drake. Not quite as strong as the Infernal, but you know, it's there. It's an opportunity for JDG to take if they so choose. Flawless is very far ahead. so it might just be a free pickup for him, and he is starting it. Yagao still looking for a pick on the mid lane, won't find it, but this should keep the pressure off the Dragon for now. JDG should be able to secure it. There you go.
JD Gaming doing very well on the game objectives. No one is stopping Zoom at this point. He's already up 20, 30 CS even.
Uzi's trying to counter it in the top lane. They've just sent him up there solo. Ming is within the area, but they've got a push going in the mid lane as well for JDG. So, oh no, Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands onto Xiaohu.
Oh,
good
great
engage
play.
attempt from Karsa. He gets the slap between them. The ult back. Oh my god, the Vanguard's edge was insane. RNG pick up 2. That fight did not look like it was going very well for them, but suddenly Karsa saves it alongside his mid laner.
That 3-man was insane from Karsa's, and I thought the fight and the action was over. Never mind, the Sleepy Trouble doesn't land. Xiaohu should be able to know.
He's gonna get taken down. Yagao picks it up with barely any mana remaining.
That was so sick from RNG's part. Great return kill on JD Gaming's. They get one back for themselves, but LvMao flayed the elastic slingshot from Karsa. I thought it was over, but he gets the stretching strikes straight onto the Galio hero's entrance there as well. And let's just watch as he does this. He gets the early knockup into the ultimate from him. Vanguard's edge. That was so sick to watch. The coordination between those three to chain up their crowd control and their ultimates like that was just pleasure.
Something we both missed in that, they also landed the flawless duet. That was the perfect CC chain. There was not 1 second where the bot lane of JDG wasn't fully CC'd. Absolutely insane, like you said.
Yeah.
This should be Uzi near his evolutions. Because we know that this gets the evolution on patch 9.5 with Doran's Blade, but I think he's still a little bit shy. Now going into the top lane, they've rotated Xiaohu up there, and they've sent their bottom lane mid. So Uzi working towards his second item, Kinsu's Rage Blade, just needs a little bit more gold to complete that. And then he's going to be pretty powerful on this Kaisa.
Checking out his stacks there. We can see if he gets the Q. So on this patch, the Storm Razors only does 55 damage compared to 60. Karsa is spotted out here.
Oh, that's the hook into the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Goodbye, sweet prince. Send thee to thy rest. JDG get a good pick onto RNG's jungler and keep their pressure and priority in the mid lane.
Well done on his part. They find that kill. They're also pushing the top side. RNG pushing the top side, but it doesn't look like they're be able to trade it back. I think if JD Gaming take mid away from them, they should be happy with it.
They're looking to do so. That should be enough damage to take down the tower from LvMao. But look up top, Xiaohu's still pushing. That's below half health for that tower. So Xiaohu should be able to take this one out pretty easily. And JDG are continuing the push mid, knowing this fact. Xiaohu does take out the top lane tower. The mid inner still under threat from JDG.
Uzi taking a little bit of damage there, but I think we did see the supercharge evolve from him. So he is able to avoid a lot of the, he has the invisibility to avoid follow-up from Yagao. Yagao's going to have to guess on the position.
I would like to point out, this is a lot better for JDG. This time last game, they were down 7 towers and 2 inhibitors. So I mean, like, that's an improvement.
That's hardly
Clement.
a comparison.
But it is a comparison, and they're doing better.
Yep.
I'd just like to point that out. Flawless has been popping off here in this early game, doing a much better job, and he's been keeping tabs on Karsa. Hasn't been able to shut him down entirely anymore, but look at that massive CS differential he's been able to find for himself. Especially on the Kindred, where items are so important. Basically a secondary AD carry there, picking up his rapid fire cannon. Starting to scale himself up. It was a much closer game.
Next straight going to be the Mountain. Very beneficial for JD Gaming. They have a split pushing competition going on. Also the Kindred. I'm sorry, the Callista. So I do expect RNG might have to challenge for this one. This is a sliding slope that they don't, slippery slope that they don't want to go down on.
Uzi has hit his 2-item power spike, so this might be a decent time for them to talk about that, because he now has the Storm Razors and the Ginsu's Rage Blade, so he's going to be able to team fight. The rest of his team quite hasn't hit that mark, but neither has anyone on the opposing team save Flawless.
The hero last time was LvMao. Can he do it again? Actually walks a bit too far forward. Great Fate's Call.
Karsa's back. Fate's Call saves LvMao. The TP from AmazingJ gets the Hemoplague onto the backline. Flawless and Zoom both going to suffer. Now, tons of poke damage coming out from Yagao, Zoe. They should be able to force RNG off of this. No regen going to be coming in from them as well, so JDG might just be able to pick up this Drake uncontested. They're still trying to get the kills.
Well, that was an amazing staring contest from both of the teams right there. You know, you saw LvMao just walking up, trying to get a hook or a flay. RNG returns, but JD Gaming are one step ahead of the game. They already have the Fate's Call planned as well. They get the teleport from Vladimir. Small wins across the board.
Yagao trying to get Ming, not quite able to land it. That time he is, but doesn't have the Sleepy Trouble Bubble damage boost to help him out. And Zoom is just power pushing these side lanes, man. It is so hard to stop him, but Xiaohu is trying to answer by himself on the top.
That was such an uncharacteristic play coming out from JD Gaming, just baiting out the tools from RNG and then walking away with all the objectives. Usually they're the headstrong team. They're the team that wants to go in there. And they managed to take another route this time around.
So Clement, we never really got a chance to talk about the compositions here because it's been happening so quickly this game, and we still don't have time potentially as RNG are setting up for a Baron bait here. Karsa has used the Elastic Slingshot, has to wait a little bit.
For RNG, the keyword you need to know is dive. They have great backline access. They can rush into your composition very easily. They are unstoppable on the initiations. For JD Gaming, I really read this as more of a 4-1 and with a lot of protection on either side. Zoe is hard to catch. Thresh and Callista, they protect themselves very, very well. And it's all about just keeping topside control and letting Zoom do his thing in the bottom.
And he's going to be continuing that, picking up the Krugs for himself there. I'm so happy that the Mist Maiden no longer screams.
It was pretty annoying, but thanks to our tech team, they did manage to fix that. And frankly, 4-1 is one of those comps that RNG has historically not dealt well with. You think about G2 and Worlds, the way that RNG fell down was they never found the 5v5 that they wanted to find. They're a great team when they have access to all of their tools, but if you can break their composition down and keep them busy at dealing with the side waves, then they can't really make use of any of that.
That said, I feel like Xiaohu's been doing a good job with his split push on his own. He was able to keep pressure in the top side, take down the inner tower, and now they're going to send him bot. And he's working on building up his Guardian Angels so that if he is threatened in this position, he can do something. Oh no. Yagao.
Don't find Karsa. He doesn't go back.
Okay. Well, RNG looking for the flank, but I think they're going to be the ones getting pincered. They're 3v5 right here. No teleport, like you said. Uzi picks off the Kindred, but how much can he get done for his team? He has the Evolved E at this point. LvMao comes in. It is 4v3 in favor of JDG. It's 80 carry versus 80 carry on the side. Uzi so low. The last auto from Imp comes in, and now he is just pounding away at RNG's front line. The back line, everyone's dying. Imp putting out so much damage. The Rend, AmazingJ is now here. Doesn't have the ultimate, but still has a little bit of damage to his name. Able to pick off Imp on the side. AJ in so much trouble. Finally gets taken down once again. But Xiaohu trying to pop off. Gets the flawless duet on the stun onto Zoom, but the Ignite ticking him down. Zoom just needs one auto to finish him off and win the fight for his team. There's the ace for JDG.
And a full ace from JD Gaming. That's going to lead directly into the Baron. I think they should be willing to start it up at this point. It looked like RNG had a catch for a moment, but then they realized, wait a minute, none of our solo laners actually have teleports to arrive on the scene. They get collapsed on, and Uzi, Karsa, they fall down so early in the fight. Can Uzi actually reach the battlefield? I don't think they have enough time. JD Gaming doing it too fast.
JD Gaming secure the Baron onto all 5 members. Perfect timing from them. No contest from RNG. This game is shaping up heavily in JDG's favor very quickly. They have 3 dragons. They have the only Baron that has been taken this game, even in towers, up in gold. all off this fight.
Yeah, this was a really interesting start of the fight. Actually, this is the second phase of the fight after RNG has already committed to chasing down Yagao. More JD Gaming members show up than they anticipate, and you can see the solo lane scrambling to try and save the situation. Now, there was a lot of good plays here, but Uzi just didn't have the 1v1 potential against Imp at that point. Xiaohu might have made a big difference right here, getting 2 on the Vanguard's edge, but no one's low enough for him to actually finish off any of the kills. And we thought, you know, maybe AJ can do it. He gets the Kalista, gets the Imp. But watch this paddle star, perfectly timed from Zoom. This is why you never give him Yagao, and he snipes off the Vladimir before he can do anything else.
Boop. That's the ace for JDG.
Yeah, there's nowhere for Xiaohu to go, so.
Now they have the Baron buff for 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Zoom going to continue his split push, bolstered by the Baron buff. He now has 2 items, working on his third. Looks like it's going to be a Randuin's, but he has the Sterix, he has the Trinity Force. He is one chunky boy. He's able to split push so easily. AmazingJ losing almost half his health just from a QW combo here from the Yorick. Zoom just continuing the solo push. Has the Baron buff, they're going to try and engage onto him. Karsa looking for it, we'll get him into the backline, but he jumps out, keeps himself safe. Hemoplague has gone down from AmazingJ. Should be able to survive here from Yagao, but Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto Xiaohu. QSS'd off, or cleansed rather. Now the tower's gone down. The inhibitor as well in the mid lane. JDG looking for their tower of their own, and now 2 inhibitor towers may be going down, maybe even both inhibitors. 1 inhibitor in the bot lane already lost. Mid lane going to be found next if JDG are able to take it. Yagao looking for a flank with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. They catch Karsa, they pull him into the fight. They've taken the inhibitor. Hero's entrance comes in, but it's not enough. The Fate's Call as well. They'll catch Ming, and JDG are chasing down. RNG only have 3 members remaining against all 5 of JDG. This could be going to game number 3. Flawless pops the GA. And now he will keep himself alive with the Lamb's Respite. Xiaohu tries to go in, not able to find anything. It's all but the ace. Uzi the only one remaining for his team, but there's nothing he's going to be able to do against 5 members with Baron buff. JDG, even the score, 1-1.
And JDG returned the favor with an even faster game in game 2. Things went really wrong for RNG from the start. Karsa didn't get a single one of his first rotation buffs. All 3 lanes were in the lead for JD Gaming, and they unleash a red side fury worthy of their name, getting counter picks all across the board, having a strong laning phase, assisting Flawless with that type of a game style. And we really see RNG at the best and worst of their spectrum. At the best of the times, they have an early lead, they can snowball it super hard. It just seems like they're insurmountable, but on the worst of the times, they play for later games, they play for scaling, they play for the big team fights, and JD Gaming run away with the win.
I feel like saying this was towards their worst end is a little bit unfair, because I think they did a fairly decent job in the early and mid game. They were able to get leads, they were able to get Uzi ahead, they got him split pushing, and I think all of those are good things. They even got some engages from Karsa. But JDG, I think this more falls on JDG just playing infinitely better than game number 1.
Yeah, JD Gaming did have a very good team fight. It was a 5-for-2 team fight that RNG kind of thought that they could get away with. They thought that Yagao was going to move backwards. They could circle him off and just kill him on the spot. But their solo laners were still farming. Their solo lanes were very far away from the scene, and it's just that unnecessary step that they took costing them a lot.
It's going to be unsurprising because there's a very basic formula here in the LPL that all viewers should know. Yagao plus Zoe equals MVP.
Don't let him get Zoe. Ban it away from him.
Never let him get Zoe. He is a monster. 83% kill participation, 28.9% damage share, 0 deaths, I might add. This is his 8th MVP.
Yeah, Zoe is too safe. I think that's what I'm going to say. Like, Zoe, it's too hard to gank onto him. Like, Karsa can't really help Xiaohu in that situation. He does a lot of damage, and the mastery that Yagao has on the champion is just insane. You saw that paddle star. If Vladimir survived and was able to trade one other member away from the team of JD Gaming, they couldn't take Baron. That would just have been it. The Baron would not have been taken right there, and you know, you just gotta give it to Yagao. Sometimes players are proficient enough on some of these champions that it's just safer to ban it away.
Both JDG and RNG are ramping up towards playoffs. We'll see who gets the better end of the deal in game number 3.